Set.
Thanks for joining us. This is LNTV Liberia Live, and we are coming to you live from the Rabat International Airport as President Boakai returns to the country from attending the Japan International Conference on Africa Development, TICAD. And my teammate Vashta Talu and I are here to bring you live coverage of this particular event live from the Rabat International Airport. As you are aware, His Excellency President Boakai usually travels on commercial flights.
Yeah, as you can see,
the flight Aska Airline arriving there with the president here at the Rabat International Airport. And my colleague Vashta Talu and I will walk you through some of the happenings during President Boakai's visit there in Japan.
So that flight, and minutes from now they will be disembarking the aircraft and will be welcomed by an array of government officials here at the Rabat International Airport, and from there he will go to the executive officials of his administration, and from there hopefully he will talk to the press. But let's go back to Japan, where His Excellency had a very busy weeks or days while attending the Tokyo International Conference on African Development, where African leaders, as well as our leader, President Boakai, was in attendance to that conference. So the President also met, while in Tokyo, he also met, he also met some of the government. He also met the president, that is the director of PAC. He also met one of the largest cities, that's the second largest city. So we are here, and the aircraft has arrived.
Sure.
That's Boeing 737 MAX 8. We are here actually with it to myself. Bit by bit display as it happens here at the Rabat International.
For those of you who have just joined us, we'd like to say thanks for joining us. This is LNTV and EOBC Radio. We're coming to you live from the RRA. And of course, now we also see members of the armed forces, officers from the armed forces of Liberia are going to take their actual position now. They will be welcoming His Excellency the President in country. These are the National Guard. And as we speak now, the red carpet is being rolled out. The red carpet is now being rolled out, and the National Guards will take their respective positions to welcome His Excellency the President in country. He will be giving salutes. Sure.
It is tradition that the National Guard will always come to welcome His Excellency, be it President Boakai, be it former President Boakai. We are always here to welcome a sitting president, so it is their tradition for them to come. And I'm seeing other officials like the acting Minister of State, Workability. I'm seeing Justice Minister, Councillor Oswald Tue. I'm also seeing Josh Lobo.
How do we go there, sir?
I'm also seeing Josh Lobo. I'm also seeing the Deputy Director General for rebranding at the Liberia Broadcasting System. Difo Fumo is also here. And as time goes by, we'll inform you about some of the officials who have come here to welcome His Excellency. We have a crack team of and I'm seeing all of different leaders. the prolific Anthony Williams, and together we are going to bring you. That's the prolific Anthony Williams. Yeah, so we are here together.
No. Now wait right there. Our press was journalists wait there. They both going for luggages.
So we've been told that initially we were going to,
we're initially informed that we will be heading at the arrival terminal, but it appears we will not be going there. The security protocol have asked us to stay back. So obviously the convoy of His Excellency will drive him right here at the VIP lounge at the Rabos International Airport, where he will be received. So it appears we'll have to stick around and wait until he arrives here at the VIP lounge of the RRA. So
protocol has changed,
definitely,
and we must obey the protocol.
So Vashta, while we await His Excellency the President to arrive here at the VIP lounge of the RRA, we can just follow us through some of the key discussions that were held while President Boakai was in Japan attending the TICAD. That's TICAD 9 this time around, and President Boakai held several engagements, meeting with the head of the Japan Africa International Development, the entity responsible for that. Yes, he also visited a medical facility there in Japan. In fact, that institution is responsible for contributing to one of Liberia's first dialysis centers in the country, amongst other engagements that President Boakai made while he was there at the TICA.
So the president also met with the mayor. That's the second largest city in Japan. That's Yokohama. I can remember vividly doing a report about that area, and the president stressed the importance of a city to city relationship that is between Yokohama and Liberia, and that's Monrovia. In other cities we have Saniquale, we have Azweju, we have Monrovia. So if that connection, that connection can be built, the mayor can also come and maybe explain and tour Monrovia and see what they can do to also help Monrovia improve, maybe in terms of waste management, water supply, because these are the smaller issues that we are having a problem with in Liberia. So
my colleague Vashta Talu and I will walk you through this broadcast today, as President Boakai has just arrived here at the Rabos International Airport. If we can just show you, if you look there, that is the flight ahead of us. Like we keep saying, Vashta, the president normally travels using commercial aircraft. Come to think of it, that's the Askai aircraft that has just brought His Excellency to Liberia. So once the president disembarks the flight, he will join us. He will join us right here at the entry of the VIP lounge of the Rabos International Airport. Maybe we can just go right where public officials are, but we are seeing lawmakers also who are here present. If you look closely, we are seeing Lofa County Senator Jala. We are seeing Maryland County Senator Anthony Williams. We are seeing Grand Bassa County Senator Bezonga Finley. Several lawmakers have come also here to welcome President Boakai upon his arrival from the So, folks, you're still seeing members of the armed forces of Liberia, all posted. The armed forces of Liberia, all posted. And also, like we said, we just saw the arrival of several lawmakers. We're seeing Senator Bezonga Finley there shaking hands with the acting Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Madam Boakai Delegation. We're also we're seeing Councillor Tue. We're seeing him there. The Senator Jala Salah, also from Lofa County, is also here at the Roberts International Airport. So Vashta, over to you. If there are additional details while we are with President Boakai to arrive here at the VIP lodge of the Roberts International Airport. Obviously, there have been huge discussions in country upon the departure of His Excellency the President. You come to
especially the debate that has to do with whether the president will attend the Osaka, conference, or he will be back, and everything is.
Sure.
And others are saying it's because of the pressure from citizens. That's why he's coming back, and all of that. So maybe we'll have the opportunity to ask the president, some questions about that.
Yes.
But we've been asked, we've been told to just ask questions.
Definitely. Pertaining to the trip, precisely. Obviously. And so just stick around, because come to think of it, also the discussion about the delegation being huge, 23 persons and all of that. And so, in fact, there were rumors that His Excellency President Boakai will cut his trip short because the discussions were heated and all of that. But I mean, obviously that wasn't the actual situation. We're seeing the arrival of His Excellency the President today. This expectation that when the President travels, it's anticipated that he will sign huge deals, and I mean, you will see folks posting figures, skyrocketed figures.
Even comparing what other countries have received and what Liberia hasn't received.
Sure.
Comparison.
Definitely.
Yeah. So one of the things that the president has always been talking about is that when you come from these trips, you need to have a committee to do follow-ups.
Sure.
Because if you do follow-ups, but the commitments have been made during a lot of trips, conferences, but you have to do follow-ups to make sure that what you said or the commitment. Since you promised me, Anthony, I'm at your door. I need what you promised me. So can I get it?
And I think that's why this trip also, because come to think of it, this is literally like a trade fair, and come to think of it, the Japan, or it also has a United Nations, I think, backings and sponsorship behind it. And so they don't normally just send for maybe the president and his cabinet, not necessarily, because there are huge, events that are being held that involve other line ministries and agencies. In fact, private sector actors are also involved into this, particular TICA forum or summit. So if we're speaking of folks on the Ministry of Agriculture, folks on culture and tourism, they're all going out there to showcase Liberia. They're all going out there to put forth engagements and all of that. So that's why you get to see other actors, joining the delegation. Sometimes.
And the president alone cannot do that.
Definitely. And some of these trips sometimes can be self-sponsored. Some of these entities get to sponsor their own travels and other things like that, just to be a part of the trade fair, to showcase, their various workings at their entities and all of that. Like you said, it makes a huge sense that engagements are necessary, but follow-ups are also important, because that's where you get to see the benefits of the travel. Because once you go, you don't just sign, monies and all of that don't just come out. Some commitments are made, and you get to follow up on this commitment to see if they can come to fruition. So, we're still here at the airport, folks. Thanks for joining us. President Boakai is already in country. He has returned to the country already. The flight has landed. We're here at the Roberts International Airport. We're hoping to ask President Boakai the biggest question so far. What is in the package for Liberia upon your return to the country after attending the 9th takeoff in Japan? And I'm sure you have.
And I know that's the biggest question Liberians are all waiting for, for the answer.
Sure.
And I know the president is going to answer it and maybe provide further details, because
definitely.
Yeah. So. Okay.
Sure, go ahead. Mommy? All right, folks, so we're sorry about that. We are already seeing His Excellency arriving, so we'll swap the camera quickly and show you. So there you have it. As you are looking, these vehicles arriving from the president's convoy. And so, oh God. So folks, keep watching. We're seeing the convoy of His Excellency the President arriving here from the terminal, and so delegation, the members of His Excellency's delegation are also on the trip or on the flight. I'm seeing ahead of me the official cameraman for His Excellency the President. I'm also seeing other members of his delegation. I'm also looking at Presidential Press Secretary Kula Fofana arriving there and rolling her luggages herself, and right ahead of us there is Madame Kula Fofana, Presidential Press Secretary, and we also yet to see other members of the President's cabinet. I see the President's special aide there Terrence being welcomed with a smile on his face, obviously. Presidential Press Secretary Kula Fofana just arriving there, and so there you have it. That's the official vehicle of His Excellency the President pulling up right here, right before us. And once that is done, President Boakai. So there His Excellency President Boakai is, as President Boakai is, and so we've got very tight security restrictions.
Very tight.
Yeah, definitely.
Very
Sometimes
tight.
I don't know where we get the privilege as national television, but well,
we have to get the faces. We have to get the face of His Excellency, because we are like being turned, to the back.
Definitely.
And we've seen the officials, turn
facing our
against
backs.
us. Yeah. So I don't know.
We
but
are hoping we can get good shots from there.
Yeah.
You can't beat the security. But again, folks, leave your comments on and also tell us where you're watching from. President Boakai will disembark this vehicle any moment from now. I'm seeing the security folks from the Executive Protection Service opening the door there for him. He's already out. There he is. Vashta, President Boakai has landed officially on Liberian soil.
He's back home.
Officially. And he will be welcome. The first official is the Minister of Justice there, Minister of State.
Here we go.
Yes. So there President Boakai is walking into the so folks, we're trying to make our way So there President Boakai is making his way into the VIP lounge. Sometimes I want to believe these folks want to be before the camera, but it's fine. It's fine. We don't have control over that. But folks, President Boakai is already here. He has made his way into the VIP lounge of the Rabos International Airport. So wherever you're following and watching from, keep watching and keep following. So upon arrival, the President will take a breather. Upon arrival, the President will take a breather into the Rabos International Airport's executive lounge. Vashta, before we are hoping he will have a word with members of the press.
So since we have the Presidential Press Secretary here, she will come up and tell us whether the President will talk to us or not, but I'm sure he will talk to us.
Definitely, obviously the President will obviously speak to us, and as we wait, while we wait, Vashta, we can walk our audience through briefly about the TICAD summit. Obviously the President has returned today following a week-long visit to Japan, where he participated in the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD 9. And his visit, while diplomatically fruitful, also did spark some mixed reactions at home. But while in Yokohama, President Boakai held key bilateral talks with Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, and the discussions were centered on strengthening Liberia-Japan cooperation, especially in infrastructure agriculture, health, education, and investment, Vasta. And the president thanked he actually thanked Japan as a country holistically for, the role of Japan during the Ebola and COVID crisis in Liberia. And the president also praised, ongoing Japanese supported infrastructure projects like the Japan Freeway Extension and food security programs that Japan already has in Liberia. President Boakai also toured the Shonan Kamakura General Hospital, where Liberia's first dialysis center was established through a partnership with the Tokoshuba Group. These Japanese names are very strong. But of course, while there, the president commended the sir, please, you're in the shot, sir. Am I in reality? Yeah, everybody wants to move away. I'm talking to you, please. I don't get it sometimes. Vasta, it's very tough here with these security folks. Yes, they push you here and there. There's no specific place that they want you to stand, but again, we don't want to go back and forth. Right behind us here is the Minister of State. We see the Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, and several government officials having just brief conversations here. Minister Jerry McMatthew, PR, and Presidential Press Secretary Kula Fofana. He obviously, once he's done in there with the VIPs, with the president, and then we will have a conversation. So, folks, several issues were discussed. Vashta will run us through also. Let's get more details regarding the trip there in Japan.
The president's quest to make Liberia a food-reliant country. It is something that it is visible.
Go ahead.
It's kind of visible, very visible. So the president did meet with the president of the Japan International Cooperation Agency, that's JICA.
Yeah.
JICA has been a strong partner to Liberia, especially in the agricultural sector. And the president, while meeting with the president of JICA, also highlighted for the continuation of LIB Rice, a project that JICA has been implementing in Liberia for several years now. So the president has expressed his interest that, this project, we are appealing to JICA to also continue this project because we want Liberia to produce, its own food so that our people we can't just be importing rice from other countries like India and other countries, but we want to produce our own food. But in producing our own food, we need partners, we need people to help us. So JICA, as a leading partner when it comes to agriculture, we plead with them, we appealed on behalf of the government, on behalf of the agriculture department, that's ministry, to also come and reactivate the LIB Rice project because it will really boost trade and it will boost the lives of the people when it comes to agriculture, food production as well.
Sure. The fight for Liberian to be self-reliant feed itself is quite a huge one, and the president and his cabinet, of course, through the Ministry of Agriculture, are making some very useful endeavors to ensure that to make sure that key agricultural deals can be signed and engagements can be made while they're out there, on these kind of conferences or summits. So obviously, there's a need. Dr. Alexander Nuta, the minister, they've got several rice projects in several parts of the country and all of that. But you can go ahead and run us through other details.
So the president was also awarded the Presidential Excellence Award. It was So the president did receive the Presidential Excellence Award from top officials in Japan, and it has to do with and the recognition, according to the release on the Executive Mansion page, is in recognition of the president's continuous contributions to uplifting Liberia, and the award was presented by members of the Hollywood Star Hall of Fame in collaboration with Liberia's Special Envoy Ambassador TrueLiberia. So during the presentation, according to the release on the Executive Mansion Facebook page, the Hollywood Star Hall of Fame delegation praised President Boakai for his long-standing leadership and commitment to national transformation, noting that his vision continues to inspire Liberians at home and abroad, as well as international partners. So the president also expressed his deep gratitude for the recognition bestowed upon him and highlighted his steadfast resolve to advance Liberia's steady progress. So he remains resolved, he remains committed to taking Liberia to higher heights when it comes to development. So the president was awarded, he received, or he was honored with the Presidential Excellence Award while in Japan. The president also met with the Liberian community, members of the Liberian community in Japan. As usual, whenever the president travels out of Liberia, be it in Sierra Leone, be it in other African nations, or maybe out of Africa, he's always meeting with Liberians there, getting their views and also encouraging them to come back home so that the rebuilding process of Liberia can be holistic. It is not just a one-man's thing. It's not just about government. It is about all people coming together, all Liberians coming together from all walks of life to rebuild Liberia. So my colleague Anthony is also here. And
Vashta, lots of issues obviously are being raised, will be talked about. With all of these, there are still controversies surrounding the trip. Expectations are still high when the president makes travels. You expect it. But again, one can say with all of this that's happening, and with all of the, anticipations, come to think of it, as President Boakai touches ground today at the RIA here, his engagements a broad signal, renewed push for international partnership.
Especially between Japan and
Liberia. Yeah. But also, the way it ignites this broader debate about accountability and responsibility or responsible governance. Come to think of it, I don't want to be very personal about this, but one president that has stressed keenly, or that always stresses on responsible governance, has been President Boakai, and he's known for this.
Sure.
So, come to think of it, the complaints about the number of persons on the trip, and then with the way it's been attributed to, breaking travel ordinance laws and all of that. The government, we expect to address that, because there are folks who also on the other end of the divide who think the president needs to address that. And I can guarantee you, obviously, while we're here, there will be a journalist amongst us who will raise that question. Obviously,
it's obvious. Somebody would ask that question.
Sure. But again, on a positive note, for us, we would love to know what Liberia stands to benefit from President Boakai's engagement. He has always stressed on his people doing follow-ups on some of these engagements.
Yeah.
So how speedy do we expect some of these follow-ups to yield results as the president return to the country with these engagements? So leave your comments in the comment section and tell us where you're watching and following us from. We have the Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism here, who will coordinate the press, of course, but we're also hoping that he will talk to us. There are a few questions also that we might want to ask him. Presidential Press Secretary Kula Fofana is also here. She was on the trip with His Excellency the President, and she has just returned to Liberia. So all of those responsible government spokespersons are here. The minister himself is here. We expect to hear from him and get his own appreciation from the trip. He himself was also part of the trip in Tokyo. So it's obvious that he has made engagements also as it relates to Liberia's media and information sector. So we also might want to hear from him. What does Liberia stand to benefit as a country from attending the TICA 13? So I guess Kula Fofana will now brief the press. He obviously might have engagements with members of the press. So that's it. Come to think of it, it's been quite a long trip. It's been quite a long trip, obviously, from Japan here to Liberia. It's quite obviously a long trip. So it appears Mr. President might not take much questions from members of the press, but we look forward to hearing from him and getting to know what I think. And thank you. That's Presidential Press Secretary Kula Fofana trying to crack a few jokes out there. Vashta, we are being told, obviously. I mean, come to think of it, you have flown from China here to Liberia, so you know what it means to get on longer trips like this. So I guess it's taking Mr. President some time to come out. He's actually taking a real breather.
A day and a half.
Oh, that's quite a long time.
Yeah, I just don't know about Japan, but Japan is, far away from China. So can you imagine?
Sure.
Yeah.
So folks, while Mr. President takes his breath up, we are with him and we expect that he will be here any moment from now. I guess you got your questions scripted already. You always have one question on the standby.
Yeah, because I don't want to be like caught unawares. So my question is already, when we're coming on the car, I have my question drafted, and I asked you for an input. Okay, can we do this? Can you do that? Because it is a teamwork. We have to get the question straight up so that the appropriate answer can be given to the Liberian people, because we are here to serve the Liberian people. Yeah,
Mr. President has a way of smiling when the question is appropriate, Yeah, just the other day he was like, Vashta, I see you almost everywhere. So let's hope when you ask him today he will give that recognition. As usual, he does it. I mean,
it's almost 2 weeks I've not been here, and
you might probably ask, where have you been?
And the only person he sees is Anthony.
Yeah, sure. So folks, kindly also, if you have your own questions, you can also leave your questions in the comment section and tell us what question you might want us to ask His Excellency the President. And so it's been some minutes now since Mr. President entered the VIP lounge of the RIA, and you're seeing the Executive Protection Service folks out there protecting the entry. So I mean, we've been briefed already that His Excellency will be out any moment from now, and so any moment from now we'll see His Excellency President Boakai making his way out here. And so thanks for following and listening to us. I assume this broadcast is live on ELBC Radio 99.9 FM, and so for those our listeners who are in parts of the country listening to us from Maryland, I will always call Maryland first.
And I will always go grant you there.
Very good. So if you're listening to us from Harper, from Zwedru, Fishtown, Banga, Bomi,
Sunny Kole,
Pasa, Yekepa, Tapeta, Lugwatuo, Doro, wherever you are looking at us, kindly stay put, keep following ELBC Radio 99.9 FM, LNTV Liberia Live, or for those watching your television sets or following us on social media. So, I mean, obviously, everyone is eager to hear from Mr. President and know what the good news is upon his arrival. So, we await his arrival here any moment from now. He has already arrived in country, but we're speaking of he coming out of the VIP lounge where he's taking a little breather. So, Vashta.
So, I think he's being briefed by the acting minister of state, and as well as the Justice Minister. Yeah, the Justice Minister. That's the Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia. So they're giving the president maybe a tete-a-tete as to what unfolded after we left the country.
Sure, definitely. I mean, usually when the president travels, he leaves the Minister of State, sometimes the Minister of Justice. I guess this time the Minister of Justice, of course. So obviously, it appears the Minister of Justice is briefing His Excellency on happenings in the country in his absence. Also, this can be done because usually it's like whoever the president leaves in charge gets to communicate with him via telephone call to have him updated on national issues. So it appears currently he's been briefed, of course, on other emergency issues. There've been lots of happenings since he departed the country. So, I mean, basically he's been briefed. But again, I can't also rule out the fact that it's obviously a long trip from Asia crossing over here in Africa. So His Excellency might be taking a breather up there. Obviously taking a breather up in the executive lounge of the Rabat International Airport, where he's just arrived. If we can just look at the time, like 30 to 40 minutes ago, 35 to 40 minutes ago so far. So
this is LNTV, Liberia Live. This is ELBC 99.9. We're coming to you live from the Rabat International Airport, where His Excellency and Interage have just arrived in country after attending the 9th Tokyo International Conference.
And it appears Mr. President is making his way here, Vashta.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Mr. President. Mr. President, welcome back to your country. My name is Vasta Talu, and I do work for the state broadcaster. Mr. President, your government's quest to make Liberia a full reliant nation remains unbending. Do you care to bring us up to speed about your meeting held with Chika, President Wa in Japan?
Thank you very much. And the first thing is about the international partnership, which is to help African countries to become self-reliant in terms of investment, in terms of food production, in terms of being responsible communities for developing their respective areas, and we are committed to this.
Mr. President, my name is Regan Sanlevi, and I report for the Liberia News Agency. You have always pushed for Liberia on the international scene. So you called on JICA to see reason to enhance the production aspect of food security or rice in our country. What continue course?
Well, my first on my agenda, the first agriculture, the country that feeds itself. We have the potential, we are capable, we have the land, we have the resources. So the partnership that will help us to do that is very important. But we are working with strategic partners so that we can produce. And we can't do that without building roads, access roads to the farming community. And we are on course with that.
Mr. President, my name is Steve Fellows, and I report for Canada. I know you are on a long flight, but this question is, you will understand that Japan pledged $5.5 billion to Africa during TICA 9. How much is Liberia expected to get from the amount, and if it were a given, how your administration would use it to benefit ordinary people, sir?
Well, those are the discussions that we have.
Okay.
What will come to Liberia, but what we know immediately is a commitment to help us. You know, the Japanese highway want to connect it with the area Syria. We met with the JICA. They implement
This is
out of Japan.
Okay.
We work with them.
Yes, this is the last question,
Thank you.
Mr.
That
President.
would be the last.
This is the last question,
Is
please.
this-
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. So, Mr.
The government is the government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it, and they did it. Is that demolition, is removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law. Thank you.
Thank
very
you,
much.
sir. So that was the response.
So we just had an interaction with the president. With the president, you brought us up to speed, especially with the meeting that he had with the president of JICA. That's the Japan-owned agency responsible for other in the cooperation. So the president did bring us up to speed, and the presidential convoy is in readiness to leave the premises of the Rabas International Airport. So we are also here with the camera operator Isaac Freeman from the Liberia National Television.
Said the law is the law.
Speaking of the demolition exercise that took place a few hours ago at the CDC headquarters, the president said the law is the law, and it was done based on the law, void of political influence, void of political manipulation. Agriculture remains a key component of the president's arrest agenda. So he will continue to push until Liberia becomes full reliant. That's why the A component, that's agriculture, will be reinforced, will be enforced, will be supported.
All right,
We're giving the necessary support.
So, folks,
when necessary.
thanks for watching, Vasta. I'm sorry, the convoy is flying. You know, we're in the convoy.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who've been watching, we'd like to say thanks for watching. Mr. President made it clear that Liberia's engagement internationally remains firm, and he will continue to push for Liberia's development when he goes on these conferences and summits in other parts of the world. He was asked about the recent demolition exercise, and he made it clear that government was executing a court order, and the law remains the law.
The law
My name
remains
is
the
Anthony
law.
Williams.
And I'm Vasta Tali.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much.